United Arab Emirates conducted a secret airstrike inside Iran. The target was oil refinery of Lavan Island in the Persian Gulf. The strike caused a major fire and forced the refinery to suspend operation for several months. According to the Wall Street Journal, the attack was launched in early April 2026 using a Western-made flight jet and drones. So let that settle for a moment, because what this represents is a fundamental escalation in the Gulf that has received far less attention than it should demand. To understand why the UAE struck inside Iran, you have to go back to what Iran did first. Tehran launched more than 2,800 missiles and drones at Emirates infrastructure. That is not a skirmish. That is a sustained large-scale assault on a sovereign nation's physical and economical assets. The UAE strikes on Naval Island were its military response to that campaign. Naval Island or Highland sits in the Persian Gulf and hosts oil refinery infrastructure. Taking out a refinery there is not a symbolic gesture. It is a strike on Iran's energy production capacity. The economical, painful, and operational significant Iran has faced. Crucially, the UAE conducted this operation without a public acknowledgement. The UAE Ministry of Foreign Affairs declined to directly comment on the strike when approached, referring instead to a previous statement and affirming a state right to respond to hostile act with military means to defend its security. That carefully constructed non-denial in itself a form of confirmation. A government that has no involvement in the strike would have said so directly. The decision to keep the operation secret while it was executed and to maintain studied ambiguity afterwards reflects the UAE's strategic calculation. Abu Dhabi wanted the military effect without the full diplomatic exposure of the declared act of war against Iran. Meanwhile, the military dimension was accompanied by a parallel economic and diplomatic campaign. Following the strike, the UAE restricted Iranian financial activity in Dubai. Dubai has historically been a critical financial hub for Iranian businesses and individuals navigating international sanction, a channel that Tehran depends on. Restricting that access compound the pressure beyond what airstrikes alone can achieve. Beyond the UAE tightened visa rules for Iranian citizens and moved the symbol or the support United Nations resolution that would authorize the use of force to reopen the Strait of Hormuz if Iran blocked it. That last point is particularly significant. The UAE is not just defending itself bilaterally, it is building an international legal and military framework that would justify collective actions against Iran's control of the Strait of Hormuz. In response to all of this, the broader Gulf picture comes into focus. The Strait of Hormuz carries approximately one-fifth of the world's oil supply. Iran's blockage on that waterways is already pushing oil prices above $105 a barrel. The United States has described its ceasefire with Iran as being on a life support. The UK has deployed the air defense destroyer HMS Dragon to the Middle East for possible participation in an international mission in the Strait of Hormuz. The UAE has now been revealed as having conducted active military strike inside Iran territory. At that point, what was described or what was being described as a standoff as the operational characteristics of an active multi-party conflict. It involves Iranian missile and drone campaigns, Emirati airstrikes, American naval posturing, British naval deployment, and a blockade international shipping lane. The Western-made fighter jet and a drone used by the UAE in the naval highland strikes add another layer. The UAE operates mileage 2,000 aircraft, French-built, among other Western platforms. The use of Western military hardware in strikes against Iran places the government that supplied that hardship in an indirect but real relationship with the operation. France, which supply the Mirage 2000 and other Western arms supply, are part of the operation chain that made the naval island strike possible.